Coming up,
You want to have lots of colors in your basket and on your plate.
they say that health starts in the kitchen, but actually it starts at the grocery store. Common Threads shares some tips for healthier shopping for you and your kids. Then,
We wanted something different and something delicious, and that's what we created in here at Coral Poke.
this local poke spot has pulled healthy flavors from Brazil, Hawaii, and more to make this healthy medley. Garlic. Love it or hate it, Professor Produce minces the health benefits. How Coral Gables came to be, a visit to the Brain Center, and more are today on Soulflow Health. This room used to be a jail, and now it's an ode to the history of Coral Gables because it's an ode to George Merrick's life, the visionary designer behind Coral Gables. Welcome to Soulflow Health. I'm Hunter Franke, and today we are at the Coral Gables Museum, and we're going to learn about how Coral Gables came to be. But before we do that, we've got to eat well, so stay with us and watch this. Yeah, that's really good. I'm at Coral Poke in South Beach, and I'm eating this delicious poke bowl, and I'm thinking to myself, what goes into these, and what makes them so healthy?
Let's start from the poke bowl. We're gonna go with 2 scoops of sushi rice. And from here, we're gonna put some arugula, give some freshness for the poke bowl. And always here, we're gonna have these options. We have some sesame seeds, a little bit of alnode, that's a type of chopped seaweed, and our sesame oil. So we're gonna go with all of those. And from here, we're gonna go with the proteins. We have that many options over here. We have some crab, lobster, some vegan falafel, as well as some shrimp, salmon, and tuna. And today we're gonna make one spiced salmon and spiced tuna. We're gonna have 1 scoop of salmon, 1 scoop of fresh tuna. Let's go on the spice. We're gonna put a little bit of our chili garlic, oil, a little bit of ponzu, and all the soy sauce and many items that we have here, we like to have as a gluten-free. So all the sauce that we make is gluten-free. I'm gonna put a little bit of scallion, red onions, and the hijiki is a type of seaweed. Gonna give a nice crunch flavor and also good texture. So that's our most famous recipe over here. Gonna put a little bit of mango, diced mango, a little bit of edamame, and we have here type of Japanese pickle. I also have here some mushroom, shiitake, a little bit of seaweed salad, tomato, and also we do have the kimchi. This kimchi, we don't have fish broth over here, so it's a vegan recipe. A little bit of some fish egg, gives a nice color, radish. I'm gonna go with the spice mayo. That's the most favorite sauce that people like over here. Complete with some eel sauce. To complete, we have a few crispy items over here. And I go with one of the most favorite ones for everyone, some crispy onion and some almonds. So that's how we build up our poke bowl.
I'll taste Chef Max's creation and sit down with the owners later. Until then, it's back to the museum. There he is, George Merrick. He was only 35 years old when he began building Coral Gables. Makes me start to feel a little underaccomplished. But we have John Allen with us today to tell you more about George Merrick, the Coral Gables Museum, and the history of Coral Gables. Here's John.
Coral Gables Museum is a pretty unique building. It was built in 1937 during the Great Depression, and it was originally the municipal building. It was the police and fire station. The history behind it's fantastic, incredible. Today we're a civic and fine arts museum with a lot of the history of Coral Gables. Right now you're standing in one of our only permanent exhibit, which is called Creating the Dream, and it was how George Merrick came up with, invented, devised, and laid out Coral Gables. The story as it goes is that this was the first completely planned city in the United States. That's not exactly true. There were some that were contemporaneous, maybe a little bit before, a little bit after, like Shaker Heights, Ohio, but it was definitely one of the first. And he divided every lot, and he owned every lot. And it took off like great guns when he opened sales in November of 1921. George Merrick was, like, as I said, a brilliant visionary, a brilliant marketeer. He captured people's imagination with his marketing and his advertising. It's absolutely amazing stuff. And the funny thing is, he wanted to build a Spanish Mediterranean revival city, town. And he had it all in his head. And George Merrick never left the United States except twice to go to Cuba for 3 days.
There are hundreds of varieties of garlic worldwide, and Professor Produce will go over the health benefits of at least this one after the break.
Focusing on you. Innovations in modern medicine from your team of experts at UHealth, the University of Miami Health System.
With South Florida students back in the classroom and concerns about the rise in COVID-19 cases, UHealth pediatrician Dr. Lisa Guin says following safety protocols is key to keeping kids healthy.
Let's all wear masks when we go into this, especially because community infection rates are rising, and there's not a lot of things that protect us, except for masks and vaccinations.
Dr. Guin is also the president of the Florida chapter of the American Academy of Pediatrics, who recently put out a statement encouraging the use of masks for children while they're at school.
Doctor, talk to us about what the concerns might be for a child's mental health now that they're back in school.
Not all kids are able to verbalize, hey mom, I'm depressed. Having those open lines of communication, asking your child when they come home from school, hey, how was your day today? And listening, really listening.
She says it's about empowering kids and our community, which is why UHealth Pediatrics rolled out its new Shots to Go mobile unit.
Our goal is to bring up immunization rates, not just for COVID vaccine, but for all childhood vaccines throughout the district.
Dr. Guin says we can overcome these challenging times.
We've got to work together to get through this, and we have to do it for our children.
Before the break, we learned a lot about Coral Gables after speaking with John Allen, the director of Coral Gables Museum, where we are today. So welcome back to Soulflow Health. I'm Hunter Frankie, and if you've been watching the show for a while, you know that I live in Weston, which is considered to be a master plan community, and that started around 1994. Well, all the way back in 1922, Coral Gables was probably one of the very first master plan communities, cities, towns in the United States. And here you can see the second iteration of the map, where we started getting names of streets, which we learned how they were named earlier on. There's so much to see and learn here about Coral Gables and how it ties into the history of South Florida. And we'll keep going along here and learning more. But first, watch this. To eat or not to eat? That's not a question, because garlic is so good for you. In fact, rarely does so much health come in such a small package packed with so much flavor. When garlic hits the pan in the house, everyone gets hungry. But you know what else they get? Bad breath. Better health, actually, better health. Let's start with the big one, lowering blood pressure. Garlic also has anti-inflammatory benefits and helps blood flow more easily throughout your body. In fact, taking a garlic supplement equivalent to just 4 cloves a day may help reduce blood pressure by up to 10%. Or you could just eat 4 cloves. And now for the second big one. Garlic can also lower your cardiovascular disease risk by lowering your cholesterol. The key here is commitment. Much like many natural remedies, or remedies in general, it takes a little while for it to kick in. But adding garlic to your diet is a delicious way to develop a habit that's beneficial to your health. The next time you have a cold and are making chicken soup, make sure you add some garlic. Studies have shown that the average length of cold symptoms may be reduced from 5 days to a day and a half. If you like garlic, and come on, who doesn't? Just add a little bit more to your soup if you start to feel a cold come on. There was one more. Oh yeah, improved memory. Garlic contains an antioxidant called acetylcysteine, which shows promise in protecting your brain from damage and keeping you healthy as you age. So grab your garlic and start chopping. You would think after building one of the first master plan communities in the United States and then erecting the Biltmore that you would feel pretty accomplished with your life. And George Merrick did, saying the Biltmore was his life's greatest work until he broke ground on the University of Miami and he said to himself, this is my life's greatest work. And George, I have to agree because it is all about the U. Today we're inside the Brain Center, Miami Shores. I'm joined by Carolina. We're going to talk about some of their programs that they have to offer. But first, socially distant, we're going ahead and take our masks off here. Please tell us about the programs at the Brain Center.
So the mission at the Brain Center is to provide our patients with coordinated, comprehensive, and patient-centered care. And one of the things that we noticed was that there really was a lack in the community of education and general health and wellness programs for patients and their families. So we decided to develop programs that are geared towards the neurological patient population. And we offer quite a wide array of them, things like music therapy, seated yoga classes, different types of exercise, wellness programs, and educational programs for MS and Parkinson's patients.
The fear of falling creates a lot of guarding, and we help them really feel confident in their bodies, help them move better so they don't fall into that, crouching position.
Boxing classes offer me the opportunity to punch and move my feet and talk all at the same time. I'm very grateful to the Brain Center. It offers me these opportunities that I would never have had on my own. It's great. I highly recommend it.
Well, we see definitely benefits with strength. They get a lot stronger participating in sport because we do focus on strength. And primarily, they're just generally got something to really look forward to. So they come here, they socialize with their friends, they get a great workout, and it's something that they got during the week on top of all the other stuff they go on, they know they're going to get some good benefits from.
You also have signature programs. What are those and how are they differ from your other programs?
We offer two really wonderful signature programs. One is our Alzheimer's Caregivers course, and this course is for those that are caring for somebody with a dementia or Alzheimer's diagnosis, and it's for the non-professional caregivers, so really for family members that this is all new for them and really need that extra support in how to care for their loved one. We also have a great falls prevention program that was based out of a program out of the Netherlands. Not only do we teach patients how to navigate different obstacles and how to prevent falls, but we know that unfortunately people will fall. So what this program does, it teaches them to fall in a way that they hopefully won't break anything or injure themselves, because we know that that's then what leads to bigger problems down the road. So what makes this program so interesting is that we teach them how to fall properly.
To be clear, who is the Brain Center and their programs for?
So the Brain Center as a clinic is for anyone with any neurological condition. Our programs are a little bit more specific. Some are for MS, some are for Parkinson's. We also help those who have a loved one diagnosed with Alzheimer's and dementia, but we're always developing new programs, and really our goal is to help our patients that are coming in and see what their needs are.
If someone wants to learn more about the Brain Center and the programs you have to offer, how can they?
They should call our clinic, and then they'll be directed to speak with me or with our patient coordinator, and we'll be able to provide them any information.
Well, Carolina, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank
Really
you.
Appreciate it. When Soulflow Health returns, I finally taste that delicious poke bowl from earlier, and we'll learn how to make healthier decisions in the grocery store. Welcome back to Soulflow Health. I'm Hunter Frankie, and today we are spending the day inside of the Coral Gables Museum, where earlier we learned about George Merrick's life and the history of Coral Gables and how it came to be. But this museum is also an art museum, and this exhibit is brought to you by Richard Saul Werman, who you may not recognize by name, but you probably recognize his creation, TED, as in TED Talks. Richard's also an artist, and he has his art here on display for us to enjoy until about November, but I'm here today, so I'm going to enjoy it now. Earlier, Chef Max put together this healthy poke bowl with flavors from around the world. Now, I'll taste it. This is Astrid. Astrid, tell me, what have I added in front of me here?
Okay, so you have our specialties, which are the sushi burrito, the poke bowl, and the acai bowl.
Astrid, while I taste this acai bowl here, tell me, what is koa poke and what can people expect here?
So koa poke is a healthy alternative for food. If you want breakfast, if you want lunch, or if you just want a healthy snack, you can always come to us. There were not a lot of alternatives when it comes to healthy food around South Beach. And so our chef has a combination of Brazilian, that's why we have the acai. It is his own creation as well. And he's also Japanese and he's a sushi chef. And so he has also created these amazing ingredients that are sometimes his own recipe or his own family recipes. For example, the kimchi is very special. It's unique of us. We wanted something different and something delicious, and that's what we created here at Koa Poke.
That's one of the beautiful things about being here in South Florida is everybody brings the best parts of their culture and add that to what we know and love, which are poke bowls and acai bowls, but it's a little special here particularly.
It is very unique. Yes, our combination is really, really special, and we are very proud of it as well because it makes us different from everybody else.
Astrid, thank you so much.
I hope to see you again.
Of course. Get in here. Another exhibit here at the Coral Gables Museum is by Carlos Alberto Fernandez, and it's called Beauty and Value. As you can see over my shoulder here, it's somewhat of a coin and a flower, beauty and value. And something interesting about this particular sculpture is that it's a model for a much larger version, and there's something special about the room that it's displayed in, but you'll have to watch some more Soulflow Health first. I'm here at Publix in West Miami, and recently we've spent some time with our good friends at Common Threads, and they're showing you how to have your kids be healthier by cooking at home, how to get moving, and today we're going to learn how to shop. So let's meet up with Mimi. Mimi, we find ourselves in the produce department. Why do you want to start here?
So when you go grocery shopping, you always want to go through the perimeter of the grocery store. That's going to take you to the healthiest choices that there are in the grocery store. So here we are in the produce section. This is where obviously you're going to find lots of great fruits and vegetables. The rest of the perimeter of the grocery store includes meats and dairy products. So all of those things that you want to have in your diet that are healthy.
Right. And what we're doing here today, which is a little bit of a grocery store tour, you do this with kids, correct?
Yeah, so we do this with kids and families. We bring them to grocery stores and we show them just what we're talking about today, which is how to shop the grocery store in a healthy way.
So when you're in the produce department, what's the first thing that comes to mind? What are you looking out for?
So you want to have lots of colors in your basket and on your plate. So you want to make sure that you're choosing different colored fruits and vegetables, eating the rainbow, as we say at Common Threads, and getting all of the nutrients that all the different colored fruits and vegetables offer. When produce is in season, it's going to be cheaper, but it doesn't mean that it's better necessarily, because frozen and canned also have their benefits too.
You mentioned
we're going to talk about
foods.
that.
Yeah, you want to actually head over there?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Okay, we're in the canned section now. What are you looking for here?
So same as in the fruit and vegetable section, fresh fruits and vegetables, canned vegetables and fruits come in all kinds of sizes and colors.
Right.
So a variety of them, but you definitely want to stick to low sodium.
What is useful about having canned foods?
Well, mainly because they're going to be cheaper. Canned beans are an amazing plant-based protein.
And while you're here, there's also things like rice, and we used quinoa earlier, and this is also where you would grab that.
Definitely. So when it comes to grains like rices and pastas, you want to stick with whole grains, so brown rice instead of white rice. The whole grains are really the way to go. They have the most nutritional value.
Right.
They keep you full longer, you feel better, you eat less of them because they fill you up real quick.
Right.
They're also more affordable.
Right. Well, we still have one last stop. Where's that?
We're going to go to the frozen section.
Let's go there. What are you looking for here?
So just like with your fresh fruits and vegetables or canned fruits and vegetables, frozen comes in a variety of colors.
Okay.
And they're a great substitute when, again, if you don't have something fresh in season and you still want to use it for a recipe, come to the frozen section. Frozen fruits are harvested at the peak of freshness. So they're really great options as far as nutritional value, and they're really great for recipes that call for blended fruits, desserts, popsicles, things like that.
And you also have your frozen vegetables like we have here, a lot of which come in a little bit of a blend so you don't have to go buy each one.
Yeah, so frozen vegetables are a great option. There are things like the mixed vegetables that you can use for stir fries, soups, things like that. And they're just really convenient, super affordable, easy to store.
Yeah, and that's helpful for parents, especially when we're talking about shopping for kids.
Definitely. Having just a variety of fruits and vegetables that are not necessarily always fresh so that they don't go bad at home, having something frozen in the freezer is a really great option.
Right. Thank you so much for taking us on a brief version of what your tours are like. If somebody wants to learn more about Common Threads and what you do, how can they?
CommonThreads.org.
Great. Well, thank you so much. I've got some shopping. Welcome back to Soulflow Health. I'm Hunter Franke, and today we spent our episode inside of the Coral Gables Museum, and we learned about the history of Coral Gables and George Merrick, its creator, and we took a look around inside of the rotating exhibits, and we saw a small version of this beautiful acrylic flower next to me, and there's something interesting about the room that we're in. It actually used to be a fire station, and these original terrazzo floors from 1937 are still here. In fact, these grooves that you can see aren't markings in the floor that were an accident. They were used to help guide fire trucks into the right place because they would back in through the front here where the windows are and the doors are, and they would feel this on the ground and they would stop there. That's all we have for this week's episode of Soulflow Health. We hope that you learned something and enjoyed our tour throughout the Coral Gables Museum. As always, you can watch previous episodes of Soulflow Health on SoulflowHealth.com. You can follow us using @SoulflowHealth to share with us what you're doing to stay healthy. And until next week, it's goodbye and good health. Next week on Soulflow Health, would you believe me if I told you that this, and that are all vegan dishes? They are, and they're delicious. We'll find out which supplements do what and where to have fun new experiences like this in South Florida. We'll see you then.